If you are a startup, a new LLC, or even a DBA, I'm going to tell you why the American Express Blue Cash or Blue Business credit card is probably one of the best tier 1 credit cards, all right? Now, I know a lot of people, they always want to get the American Express Gold or Platinum, but the reality of it, starting out as a startup, you do not want to have your first card, you end up paying $695 for a card, okay? That's just too much, right? So that's one reason that you actually would want this Blue Cash business card, all right? Now, because one, it doesn't charge you that $695 annual fee. I think the gold card is $495. You don't want to just be wasting money on a new startup coming out the gate, all right? So that's number one. Number two is that the Blue Cash card, or the Blue American Express business card, the reality of it is it's a revolving card. Now, your gold and your platinum cards, those are charge cards. Now, here's the thing about it with American Express, that you do have a business and you know that you're going to be spending, say, $10,000 on your platinum or gold. They will set it up to where you're able to make monthly payments on it instead of paying out the whole thing all at once. So they can actually do that on a set pre-spend basis. Now, here's the thing about it. I would tell you that can actually get your card shut down. If you find out you got an American Express Platinum or Gold card, okay, and you want to check the spending limit, if you check it multiple times, it will trigger a financial audit. And what that means is that American Express is going to call you up. They're going to look at how much income you put on the application when you was approved for the card. Then the next thing they're going to say, hey, we're going to need to see bank statements. We're going to need to see pay stubs. And if you need pay stubs, I can help you get the pay stubs by clicking the link in the description. But they're going to want those. And until they get those, they're going to lock your card up. Now, I told you guys about the story of the client and what he did. He had a friend using this card and stuff and kept maxing it out and stuff like that. And it actually resulted in a financial review as well. So you have to be very careful with those type of cards. Now, getting back to the American Express Blue Cash, all right? This is so important, all right? They give you a revolving line. But one of the things that most people are not even aware, although they give you a revolving line of credit, you can actually go over that spending limit. So if they gave you $10,000, right, but you needed to spend $15,000, they will actually authorize you to go over that spending limit. Now, the good part about this is that you get to spend the money that you need. The challenge of that is you have to keep in mind the amount you go over. Say that they give you 10, but you spend 15. That $5,000, that $5,000 you must pay back within the next 30 days because it's like a charge account at that point. All right. So that's the reason that I like this card, because it will let you overspend, but you do have to, the overspent limit, you have to pay it back. All right. Now, here's another thing that gets people caught up and they trying to wonder why, okay, is that the reason I like this card, okay, you don't need perfect credit. Okay, you don't need perfect credit. If you're hovering around 660, 680 credit score, they will work with you and allow you to get the card. Now, here's the thing about it in terms of credit limits. The minimum credit limit on this here card is usually about starting you out at about $1,000. Okay, now the maximum they usually start people up to is usually they'll give you up to $20,000. All right, now, depending on the type of revenue, the type of assets you have and stuff included on your application. So on your application, when they're talking about income, they're asking you for how much income. So if the business is not making any income, they look at the household income. So the household income, I would always tell you, include your income as well as your spouse's income. If you have income from a 401k or you have a 401k, You estimated the income from that. Child support, alimony. All right. Now, if you're on, say, disability or welfare and you're renting out a room or something like that, then you also can include that income. Now, when it comes to rent, I always tell people the amount of rent is divided from what you pay versus the overall. All right. So if the overall rent is $1,500, but you pay half of that, you're only paying $750. So that's what it is, right? Now, here's another thing. The reason I like the American Express Blue Cash Card, again, once you have this card, any American Express business card, once you have their card over a year, you can qualify for a line of credit, okay? And so with the line of credit, they usually want you to have about a 640 credit score for that. But the thing about it, you don't get the hard pull on your credit. So you don't have to worry about that hard inquiry. As a matter of fact, I think it's one of the better lines of credit that's out there and easier to get, because if you just going after the loan or whatever, the minimum income that you have to make monthly is usually about $3,000 a month. Okay. Now, here's something I'm going to tell you, a big secret that people don't know that you can do with American Express. All right. If you have an American Express account, all right, many of us know that once you have the personal account and then you apply for the business account, you don't get the hard inquiries. But in reference to you avoiding, remember I talked about that audit? One of the best things you can do to keep them from creating an audit for you, make sure that you attach your business checking accounts to the American Express. All right. So that way, from time to time, they're going to do an automatic checkup on your accounts and stuff to make sure that they're still active and stuff. Look at the deposits and stuff like that. Right. The reason they do that, if they're going to be checking no hard inquiry stuff to see if not only if the account is still active, but to see if the revenue has increased, then they know that, okay, we're going to give you a higher limit as well on your cards. All right. Now, again, the reason I like these two cards, the cash and the regular blue business, again, because it is revolving. This is one of the best credit cards, I think, American Express. Now, I did make a video that you can check out in the link description about the Plum card. And the reason that I like that Plum card, because you can actually use that card and they give you 60 days to make your first payment. 60 days on a revolving charge card. That's the reason I like that card as well. Okay. Now, again, for those of you that may have questions on business credit funding, personal credit funding, removing negative items off of the credit, click the link in the description. Schedule a one-on-one consultation. Thank you.